Yeah, I think this, you know, dating by electronical means can be very dangerous because I can show you always the best of myself for 15 minutes, of an hour, of 1 hour we're talking, even for some time we go together for a few days. I will show you always the best of myself. But when you actually live with a person together for a long time, then only you find all the idiosyncrasies, stupidity, or whatever is in my mind, you will actually be revealed to you. It's natural. So you will only understand a person by close association. Therefore, this, email dating, computer dating, it may be just, superficial, engagement for the mind, and then you don't really know who is the person and what is going to happen to you. Maybe the person invite you to a nice place, they spike your drink, and they put you in chains and dungeon and use you as a slave sex. And you find yourself into another country, who knows, anything can happen to you. So my advice is not to involve in such activity. Meet the person to person, meet the parents, meet the family, know the culture, where they come from, what they're doing, where's their desire. You need some personal contact because we're people. We are not, some cyber. I can show you my face and then you discover I'm somebody else because hey, I can put my picture there, or I can put makeup, or who knows what I can do. So I think it's better to meet people. Better than that, just meeting people is to let the wise people, the elder people advise us what is the best for us, and then by their blessing, by their advice, our life will be successful. So basically, when people they just get involved in relationship with other people, sometimes they don't consider the implication, they don't consider the karma, they don't consider influences, they don't consider many aspects of their relationship, which is very important and very deep to understand because many people get hurt, in their relationship. Because people think, oh, if I don't like it, I will change it, I will find somebody else. But let's say the other person is very attached and she's or he is projecting the whole life with you. And at that point you say, no, look, I don't like, I have no interest with you, I found somebody else more attractive, therefore let's cut this relationship. And sometimes people get so hurt that they are driven to commit suicide. Or there are extremes, girls reject the boy on some basis, and the boy they go and throw acid in their face, disfiguring them. So these are horrible things which people do due to being superficial. Because if people were deep thinking about relationship, but now the old material world with the modern system of education, everything is very superficial. So therefore people think, I want it all and I want it now. I don't want to work, I don't want to study, I get money and I enjoy life. But then they don't understand the karmic reaction of all this. Therefore they end up in so much trouble, and so much suffering, and so much anxiety, and their life become distorted and they become entangled to the point that they cannot come out anymore unless somebody go and extricate them out, somebody go and preach to them. So my advice is that don't get involved with anybody deeply in a relationship if you are not sure you want to continue this relationship for a lifetime. I'm not saying don't talk to anybody, I'm just saying that deep involvement with a person means, consequence and responsibility.
What is your experience in terms of marriage being a commitment, serious commitment?
Yeah, marriage it is a serious commitment because when we are married, we're promising in front of the Jagya, the fire, which is Vishnu. We promise in front of the deities, in front of the Guru, in front of the Vaishnavas, that we will be linked or joined with this person for all life. It's a all life commitment. So there is no way in my mind that I think, oh, if I don't like it, I'll change it. It's not a bicycle, it's not a motorbike, it's not an ice cream. It's something which you want to make it work because you choose, because the elder guide you, because by the blessing of Krishna you receive that person as your partner and you make it work.
What's your opinion about like superficial attraction and that leading to marriage?
Well, ultimately superficial attraction does not last very long. We have experience. Many people, they look into each other, love at first sight, divorce at first fight. So basically, yeah, sometimes can be a long lasting love affair, but most of the time it's just superficial.
Why do you recommend arranged marriage?
Because I think that as the ancient people taught us, they were wise, so they taught that by arranged marriage there are many considerations to take into account, like compatibility of the mind, compatibility of the body, age group, where we come from, common interests, diversification. So many things to take in consideration. Astrology, for example, it's a very nice tool by which you can see whether there is a compatibility or not. Mine personally, it was an arranged marriage. I thank my spiritual master, His Holiness Japataka Swami, for arranging my marriage. We have been married for 31 years. I have 2 sons, 2 granddaughters, and I'm very happy.
Some people think that marriage is a fix for their problems in life. What's your opinion?
Well, in one way we can say that we're all looking for happiness, therefore we're looking for a partner or somebody who can actually, balance us. Because ultimately what happens is the husband and wife become one unit, even in the karma, even in the jataka, you can say in astrology, we become one unit. Therefore my karma and her karma mixed together, we become one unit by which we become different. So in that sense, we can say we become complete because the feminine aspect is there, the masculine aspect is there, and many other things are completed. But that should not be the sole purpose of our marriage. The purpose of the marriage is actually to both together serve the Vaishnava and serve Krishna and have children and grow them in Krishna consciousness, make them devotees, so we can propagate the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, make the whole world happy.
So what do you think about people who marry for some motivations like money or a green card or citizenship?
Yeah, I think this is not the right mood or the right motivation to get married, because again, we're only looking for some material aspect which is external. And marriage is a package deal. You marry a person and along with that so many things come to you. So it's not just, hey, I choose only the money, I choose only the Ferrari, I choose only the building and the bank balance, and the other part I discard it. No, it's not like that. You are marrying a person, therefore the whole family come into your life. Means the parents, their brother, sister, whoever it is. So it's a package deal and then you get it. So I don't think this is the proper motivation, even though sometimes your desire may be satisfied, but is that what really makes you happy? That we should think about.
Why is it important to marry somebody who's like-minded? Why can't somebody rich marry a poor one? Why can't somebody generous marry a stingy one?
Yeah, basically, see, although there is not necessary to be exactly the same to people, because different people, they have different life, and as long as we give space to each other, we can live nicely. But there should be some common denominator which attract both people together. In our Krishna consciousness, Krishna is the center of our life, therefore devotional service is the catalyst to actually coordinate all our activity. It doesn't matter how diversified interests we have, because I may be a mechanic and my wife, she's a chartered accountant. What do we have in common? Not really much. But hey, at the same time, she's doing her service, I'm doing my service, and we are both living happily together. But our common interest is how to serve Krishna, how to serve the Vaishnava, how to serve Guru. Therefore, our interest is one. In the purpose, in the ultimate purpose, we think, what is the essence of our life, which is service. Because without service, and without being connected with Krishna, we cannot be happy. It doesn't matter how much money we have, how many cars, how much land, or what building. Material life cannot give us real happiness. It's all temporary. Because eventually, we're gonna die. And what will happen to us? What will happen to us? So unless we serve Krishna with sincerity and honesty, we cannot be happy.
So, how did you choose your partner?
Well, it was a pre-arranged marriage, so there was not much to choose. But let me tell you that my Guru Maharaj told me that you should marry this girl. But I said, okay, what about this girl? What about this girl? What about this girl? And Guru Maharaj laughed and said, okay, but do you want to spend the next 10 years preaching to your wife to chant Hare Krishna and to follow the regular principle? Because this other girl, they're not initiated. So this girl who is initiated, she's coming from Brahmin family, she's a chartered accountant, she can help you with your accounting in the temple. At the time I was in Chennai, I was the temple president. So I think it's beneficial for you and you will learn many things from her. So I surrender, I say, yes, Guru Maharaj, whatever you say, you know the best, what is the best for me, so I agree with you. And she was attractive too, it's not that she was not attractive, she was a beautiful girl, she was smart. When we met, the first time I met was in Bangalore, and her mother say, oh, I think you should go upstairs and talk to each other. I was thinking, wow. And then we talked for a few hours, and I immediately could understand that this is a person I would like to spend my life with. And then eventually we got married.
So what's your opinion in terms of people who fall in love or jump into marriage, and some devotees even have problems with pornography?
Yeah, I think that people should be more realized in understanding about commitment, about marriage, about serious relationship, especially on the Vaishnava platform. And about pornography, this is absolute nonsense, because it reduces the woman or the man to just a play toy. So you lose all the respect for the person, in the name of sense enjoyment. There's a short story I would like to tell. There was a Russian famous doctor who is very rich, and he has a Swedish wife, and then at one point they start to both make a plan to adopt children, and he used to abuse them in front of a camera. And then the wife thought, okay, this is a desire my husband have, and the girl, she goes along up to the point that he start to kill these children. So then she at one point goes, he can't take it anymore, he says stop, but he couldn't stop. So because she was accomplice, she goes to the police, and the police come and arrest the both of them. They confiscate all the video and everything, and he goes to jail. And when he goes to jail, the judge asks, well, you have a nice wife, she's beautiful, why are you doing such horrible things? And he said, well, from when I was a child, I started to watch this pornography, which influenced my mind, and my mind became distorted. He said, you are rich, you're wealthy, you have a nice house, you have a good payment, you work in a hospital, you're a surgeon, you're supposed to act properly, and you have a beautiful wife. Why doing such nefarious or abominable activity of killing children, raping them? And he said, well, it must be because I was watching too much pornography. So this pornography is very degrading to people's mind. And so my personal advice is never to watch this stuff, because it's very, very dangerous, it's very addictive, and it's not real. So why do we want to poison ourselves with lust, anger, and greed? These are the three gates leading to hell. So unless we become free from these three contamination, our mind cannot be peaceful.
So as a devotee parent, what was your main challenge or difficulty with the influence from outside around?
Well, because I live in Mayapur, there's not so much influence outside, but the focus is always how to be exemplary to the children, because the children are like sponge, they absorb whatever, not what you say, but what you do.
What did you enjoy doing as a parent?
Enjoy everything of it, a little bit of it, from when they're small to when they're big, and growing them up, and everything is a wonderful experience because you reevaluate how much your parents loved you when you were small.
What was your not so favorite duty as a father?
I cannot recall any of that.
What was your greatest parenting challenge?
Giving proper education, depending always on Krishna, because sometimes financially maybe we're not so sound, but by depending always on Krishna, Krishna always give us more than what we need.
What is your advice to parents in raising Krishna conscious children?
Be very exemplary, because we are the guru. As parents, both father and mother are the first guru of the child. So therefore, we have to be very, very exemplary. For example, we never fight in front of children. Or we never criticize the father or the mother or each other or anybody. Because the children pick up on that and then instrumentalize it against you.
What is your advice for parents with teenage children?
Love them and listen to them. Tell them story about Mahabharata and Ramayana, because by this they will grow with value in their life.
What would you do if your kids didn't show interest in Krishna consciousness?
I will go along with them, but at the same time always trying to inspire them, because constant inspiration is what at one point the children will click and choose. Each one has to choose his own life, so maybe different interests, but at one point the child will choose whether to be Krishna conscious or not. It's his own choice, we can't force it.
If your children did something big mistake or something wrong, would they tell you immediately?
Sometimes they did not, but when you see them, then also a good chastisement is very important, because that will make them understand what is right and what is wrong.
When your children fell in love, did they come and tell you?
Yes. They say Vaishnava has no secret, in a sense. Whatever desire we have, we are in a Vaishnava community which we could open our mind to our senior, to our peer, and therefore we let them know what is we experiencing, because we are all in different level of devotional service. But the senior devotee can guide us. Therefore Prabhupada say we should all have a friend, because a friend is a person who say, hey, you're doing this wrong, or you're doing this right, oh, I'm very happy for you, and maybe you should change a little bit this, hey, why are you not coming for Mangalarti? Are you chanting you around? You'll come for Prashad, whatever. You know, they're always protecting us, and they're always guiding us. So, even in the family life where we want to have children, it's not that we're doing hush-hush things. No, we go to the spiritual master, we take permission, we go to the astrologer, we say, okay, what is the best in time for doing this Garbhodan Sanskar, the Vaishnava, there's a Jagya, we're inviting people for Prashada, and then we are having children. So we are not animals. We are very open-minded, and we are very broad vision, because we think Krishna will send some particular soul into my life, which is my children. And those children will become great Vaishnavas who will serve the purpose of the Lord. So, we are no secret, and what we do is that in a close association of Vaishnava, everything becomes revealed and everything becomes manifest. So we are depending on the blessing of the Lord, the blessing of the Vaishnava. So we are in a super protected condition, and everything becomes wonderful.
What's the goal of education?
The goal of education is to actually realize our own self. What is our relationship with nature? What is our relationship with other people? What is our relationship with God?
Goal of family life.
The goal of family life is to be happy in that relationship with another human being, and to bring up a lot of children, make them all devotee of Krishna.
Goal of marriage.
Goal of marriage is to be happy and satisfy each other and work in cooperation to please the Vaishnava community and Krishna.
Goal of money.
Goal of money to be utilized. Money is like a weapon. Like a knife, you can use it for cutting vegetable, you can kill people. Money is the same. You can use for sense gratification or you can use it for Krishna service. So the best utilization is to use it in the service of the Lord.
Mom or dad?
Mom,
Pizza or dosa?
pizza.
Mayapur or Vrindavan?
Mayapur,
Kirtan Mela or Parikrama?
Kirtan Mela.
Love marriage or arranged marriage?
Arranged marriage.
Job or business?
Business.
Why is it such a big thing to follow regulative principles?
Well, you see, in Kali Yuga, especially in this age, if we do not follow the four regulative principles, then we become degraded. So these are the four pillars of religious life, and this is what makes us human. Otherwise, what's the difference between animals and us? The animals, they eat, they sleep, they have sex, and they defend. And if we human beings, we do the same activity unregulated. Now, the animals, they're more regulated than man because they have a period in winter time when they procreate, for example. And therefore, they're not always into sex. But human beings can exploit their senses to the max. So if we become conditioned by sense enjoyment, we become worse than animals. So therefore, it's very important to regulate and train ourselves in order to regulate our mind and our body in order to be controlled. So we are human, and human means responsibility. When the cow goes in a red light, the police doesn't whistle, and he doesn't take a number plate and give her fine $100 because it's a cow. So is a donkey, so is a dog. But if a human being does something wrong, then he will be punished. So we have to understand there are higher principles for human than animals. So we don't want to be on an animal platform, we like to be as human, which is human form is very rare. And therefore we have to utilize this human form of life for the higher goal, which means self-realization.